In Anoka Hennepin schools, we stay above the line. As high school students, we've got a lot of school spirit.
And when we compete in athletics, that spirit goes through the roof.
Our pride runs deep. And sometimes competitions can get messy. But our friends and competitors all deserve a safe environment.
That's why this season and every season, we're committed to competing with class.
It's not okay to taunt, trash, or throw shade at our opponents.
We don't play that way. As players and as fans, this is the way we play the game.
We build up our teams.
We respect officials.
And we give props to the other team, even if they beat us. We are not alone. Our high school coaches, administrators, and staff are committed to confronting and eliminating bad behaviors.
Because insensitive, offensive, and hateful behavior
has no place in our high school or in our activities.
Everyone has a role to play.
So whether we're at home or away, join our school communities
as we show everyone this is the way we play the game.
Anoka Hennepin fans, whether you cheer for the Huskies, Cardinals, Bengals, Rebels, or Tornadoes, let's stay above the line.
Coming up tonight on QCTV Sports, a Northwest Suburban Conference High School girls basketball matchup. First of two games, teams with similar records as the Andover Huskies are hosting the Champlin Park Rebels along with Joe Rulin. I'm Jim Erickson, and Joe, these teams have similar records. Should be a good matchup tonight.
It should be. Andover features the core four juniors that combine for an average of 51 points a game just among those four. A lot of talent, a lot of poise, a lot of scoreability within those four. Meanwhile, you got a couple of dynamic duo players, and Champlin Park ready up for the challenge here as both teams pretty much begin the second half of their season tonight.
Yeah, both teams are a game above 500. It's time to make a move in both the conference and in section play. It's a mild Tuesday night, and we'll have the tip-off for you coming up next on QCTV Sports. Back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20, 10, touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Score! Yes! Score! Go to deflection. Yes! The Huskies win their first state championship.
And you are looking live at Andover High School here tonight. I always wanted to say that. Tip my cap to Brent Musburger.
Yep.
Looking live at Andover High School, the Andover High School Gymnasium. It is a mild Tuesday outside. It's Northwest Suburban Conference High School girls basketball tonight. You see the two records there, the 7-6 Andover Huskies and the 5-4 Champlin Park Rebels, along with Joe Ruland. I'm Jim Erickson here tonight. Andover swept both games last year against this Champlin Park team. Andover had a better record last year than Champlin Park. But the Rebels, under their third-year head coach, Arthur Crutch, has got them off to a 5-4 start and a 5-2 start in conference play, Joe.
Well, let's get one thing clarified. I am no Irv Cross or Phyllis George to feel that way with Brent Musburger. But here tonight, you're right. He's trying to get that ship right. He's got some great point play, led also by Ava Holman. She has 11 last night in their loss to Chaska. Chaska, a tough team, number 3 in the state. They took a 69-37 loss last night, but in that homecoming game, it was Holman who picked up 10. Meanwhile, when you look across the roster for Blake Nichols and the Andover Huskies, they're 7-6, averaging 59 points a game, but they've got 4 players who can put up a double-double, maybe a triple-double on many nights in Piper. Ingleby, Frost, Miller, and Valor, all of them averaging double figures on the season.
There you see teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Those are their overall records in non-conference and conference games here tonight as we get into this one here with the Andover Huskies and the Champlin Park Rebels. waiting for Champlin Park to come out onto the court. We're going to get the national anthem here for you. These teams will meet again later on in the season. It'll be at Champlin Park High School, their field house, on Friday, February 10th, as we have passed into January here in the downhill slide. Let's get you our anthem here from Andover. National anthem here tonight from Andover High School. We talked about Champlin Park a little bit, 5-4, 5-2 in conference play. The Andover Huskies are 4-3 in conference play, Joe, and they've won 3 of their last 5 games. They open up the season with 4 wins in their first 6. Their last 7, they've gone 3-4, as they played a pretty tough non-conference schedule, haven't they? Now, as we kind of bear down, and the rest of the way, it's pretty much all conference.
Yeah, they're exactly right. You see that. Boys and girls basketball, a lot of holiday tournaments, and a chance now, the second part of the season for both these teams, a lot of conference play and what have you. We'll get into more about who they played, but here's a look at the lineup. You've got Nicole Lillard. Lillard comes in. She's averaging 9 points a game. Meanwhile, Ashley Burchett comes in averaging almost 9 at 8.9 points a game. Holman, she's averaging double figures at 11 points, along with Mariah Pates. Pates guard, number 22 at 6 a game. And then it's Rian Giles. And she is putting up about 7 a game as well. So some, again, some punch and what have you in there for that Champlin Park Rebels. Again, led by, as you mentioned, Jim, head coach Arthur Crutch in his 3rd season.
Blake Nichols in his 5th season here at Andover. The Huskies a year ago, 16-13. Finished at 9-10. in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Andover won both of the meetings against Champlin Park a year ago, 51-46 and 63-46. In fact, Andover has won the last 3 matchups. The last time Champlin Park had a win in this series was February of 2020, 45-44, and a close one. And there is the starting lineup for Blake Nichols and the Andover Huskies.
Looking at Kayla Beckman as one of the forwards. Megan Miller, of course, a 6-footer. She's putting in 10 a game. Follow along with Ingleby. Ingleby at almost 14 a game. Frost, I'll tell you, she can play some great defense. Probably one of their best defenders, but she also can put the ball in the hoop as well. She's averaging 12 a game. And then Anna Valor. Valor, top scorer with 18 a game this season. And the team as a whole for Andover averaging 12 assists per game.
Mariah Pates ready to jump this up for Champlin Park, going up against Morgan Miller, and it's won by Andover, and they quickly go on attack right down low to Miller, and it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Champlin Park ball, off of Champlin Park, excuse me. Andover will hold on to it. Inbounds on the baseline, 6 seconds into this one.
Good strip that time by Giles.
Huskies inbound, Frost. In low to the post, Miller works it down, blocked by Pates. Rebound Champlin Park, Rebels come back. Burchett sets up the offense for the Rebels. First of 2 meetings between these teams. Crossover dribble, Giles stripped away. The steal by Valor. Valor spins off the back iron, the rebound to the Rebels. End to end, they'll push it. Holman, floater, got it.
Picks up her first 2 in the transition game, a key, but also another key limiting and minimizing turnovers for both of these teams.
Emma Frost working it around. Here's Kayla Beckman, the senior, to go with those 4 juniors in the starting lineup. Miller up and around to Engelby, who had 14 against Coon Rapids. Averages 13.9. Valor, Frost. Dribble drive Miller. Kicks it right back out. They go back down to Miller on the box. Here's the baseline hook shot. And it's good for Morgan Miller.
I like that move. Moves it, fakes to the lane, and against the taller Pates, she takes it to the bank for 2.
Here's the lob pass down to Pates. They work it into the box there. She pivots, met by Miller, and they play it back out on the perimeter. There's Lillard, who hands it off. Dribble behind the back. Holman back to Lillard. Drive down the wing. Double teamed. In trouble, and it's stripped away. Here's a steal by Valor as she cruises the other way. Left hand layup is good. And it's 4-2 Huskies.
Well, 3 trips down the court. Teams combined, 2 turnovers. And that time, the Huskies cashed in on transition ball off the turnover.
Lillard, 3, rolls out. Frost with the rebound, and she pushes it here for the Huskies. Crossover, splits the D, up and good with a fingertip roll. What a drive to the basket and transition. Off the rebound by Emma Frost. Took it coast to coast, Joe.
They did, and you know what? Call her FedEx. She delivered. But I'm going to tell you that they hit those layups. The key thing you see with Andover, they make the majority of those layups.
Back door to Lillard, goes in, fouled him. By the way, I'm more of a DHL guy.
Is it the Brown?
Yeah.
So I would say, hey, yeah, it's great to have that, but I think the key component is hitting those little bunnies inside, and those are the difference maker, especially as you get later in the game. This Andover squad will cash in those short bunnies all night long on those layups.
Fouls on Engelby. That's her first team foul here on Andover. And Lillard to the line. Hits number 1 and number 2, nothing but net. So Nicole Lillard, who averages just under 9 a game, 2 points here, cuts it to a 2-point game. 6-4 Huskies. Engelby, Frost, up top Beckman, out on the perimeter here. They like to maybe look down low to Miller. Instead, 3 straight away is good. Engelby is on the board. 9-4 Andover.
What a pure-looking 3. Squared it up, got those toes towards that rim, and knocked down the trifecta.
Point guard Burchett, she pulls up shy of the arc. That's just a little bit short. Rebound grab of the fingertips of Miller. Miller takes it the other way on the break. Feed on the break and the push to Frost. And 2 more for Emma Frost. She has 4.
She is heating up, shall we say, for Frost on 2 layup conversions and transition ball. And I'll tell you, Miller was running the point. She not only ran the point on that break, but she also squared off and got a rebound against the 6'1" junior in Pate for Champlin Park, and led the breakout on and a beautiful bounce pass to Frost. So Huskies on the run early, and that's what we said. We need the scoring from that foursome, the core 4 of the squad, and they're getting rebounds and points distribution. All 4 have already scored in this game.
Andover with their largest lead of the game with 7, now a 7-point lead, 11-4. Timeout called by Champlin Park and their head coach Arthur Crutch.
I think they were watching QCTV, those fans.
Probably.
Down below.
Probably. We're streaming worldwide at QCTV.org and, of course, our YouTube page as well. Boy, that is handy. Those games are available, archived. The moment I get home, I can critique your performance, Joe. The minute I get home and eat my dinner.
Oh, I get those notes from you.
Here's another steal, and it's stripped away by Valor. Valor with the ball, stripped away by the Rebels, and it goes out of bounds.
Those notes are more of a written filibuster, 2-3 in the morning, and they go on. But I appreciate the feedback.
Well, you got to get it when you can get it. Engelby on the inbound. Here's Valor to the rim, and she gets hacked, and it'll be a foul here on Champlin Park. It'll be their first team foul.
Well, the key thing about having 12 assists a game, they don't just to come out and look for that shot. They look for who's cutting, who's in motion, constant movement, activity away from the ball and picks. And that's why this team for the Huskies, they have such a great chemistry. And they continue to just want to elevate. And come time for section, they're going to be a team to reckon with.
Valor had 23 against Coon Rapids, averages 17.8. She's got 4 points here tonight with those 2 free throws. It's now a 9-point Andover lead. Dribble drive to the hoop. It's Holman up high and no good. Rebound Engelby with the push in the right wing. Valor to the baseline. Underneath the kick out. Beckman. Back to the wing. Frost. Now right back down low to Miller. Stopped there by Pates. 3 is good. Valor connects here in the near wing. 7 for Anna Valor, and that leads at 12.
What a money-looking trifecta there. Squared up again, nothing but nylon. Oof.
Hot start here for the Andover Huskies. Burchett trying to take Engelby off the dribble on the baseline. She'll have to kick it back out to Lillard.
You'll see both these teams play man-to-man pretty much 95% of the time.
Holman, crossover. Tried to peel off a screen of Pates. Then it's back to Lillard, who hits it left side. Check that, Burchett. And Burchett hits an important 3-point shot. That stopped a nice long run here for Andover, 16-7.
First from behind the perimeter tonight for the Rebels.
And a strip and a steal. Lillard's got it. Stays in bounds right at the timeline. She's got to be careful. As she did come across. Now she goes to the hoop and will get fouled on the floor.
Well, Lillard, an excellent defender, and a couple of them up front as well. Strong defenders. In fact, you get a look there at Blake Nichols, head coach for the Andover Huskies. I was talking with Arthur Crutch before the game. They played Chaska last night, and Chaska's the number 3 team in the state. I'll tell you, Chaska has a point guard. He said, I ran everyone at this guard, and her name is Kennedy Sanders. She still put up 25.
Burchett goes to the hoop, gets it stripped on her shot. Battle for the ball on the floor. Lacey Heppel is into the game now for Andover. And it'll end up be a tied ball. Alternating possession arrow here to Champlin Park. That last foul, by the way, was on Morgan Miller. First personal, second team foul here for Andover's Burchett. Inbounds to Lillard. Takes it off the left-hand dribble. Directs some traffic. Kicks it over to Holman. Bounce pass intercepted. Nice anticipation there. Stolen by Frost. Long pass in turn. Stolen right back by Burchett. Burchett across the timeline here at Andover High School. Lillard hesitates. Floats one. Short. Good idea. Came up short. Rebound Engelby. Long feed for Miller. And she has it stolen away. So both teams right now having a hard time holding on to the ball. Burchett to the glass. That's too strong. Rebound off the bench is Jaden Spann. And she'll give it up to Tolentino, who will kick it back left side. Here's a 3. That's off. And it's out of bounds off of Champlin Park, off a fingertip of the Rebels, and out of bounds.
Well, one of the keys to the game also today has been, hey, value each possession. Minimize those turnovers. And we've seen Andover the last 2 trips down, 2 turnovers. When it comes time, postseason play, those start to impact the outcome.
Sophomore Lacey Heppel now playing the point. Valor in the corner leading all scorers with 7. Back into the opposite corner to Heppel, and Lacey Heppel comes off the bench and hits a 3 here for the Huskies.
It's a good pass down low right to her shooting pocket. She squared up, nothing but money.
Bring it across Lillard. Holman down on the box. Junior center and post Jaden Spann swings it out to Lillard, who drives off the glass. Strong move. There to defend is Valor with another rebound, and she'll push it herself. Take it to the right side. Take a shot, partially blocked by Spann. Rebound ends up onto the hands of the Huskies and to the hoop and a block. With Engelby taking it off of the rebound and going strong, but a blocking foul here on Champlin Park. It is on Champlin Park.
Just the 3rd team foul in the first.
I think they're going to say that the defender had position, but they were inside the semicircle.
You are correct as Engelby gets ready, a good free throw shooter.
2 shots. Give her 4 on the game now, and it's 20-7.
Averaging 13.9 a game. That's close enough for me to call 14 a game. And again, she can hit those free throws down the key. That's another key component. Hitting those shots from the charity stripe when you need to, and hitting those bunnies underneath. But in between, they got to seal off transitions and turnovers.
Engleby hits both. She has 5 points. Andover 4 for 4 from the line. And their lead right now at 14. That's as big as it has been here in this first half. Holman, Tolentino into the game. She came off the bench during that timeout for Champlin Park. She goes to the hoop, and I tell you what, defensively, Andover's been very good here so far.
They have, and you see Ellie Fields. He snuck down to that lane to put some pressure, but the block came from the back.
Tolentino inbounds, and Burchett open on the inbounds. And it's a little 15-footer on the left wing. 21-9. She has 5 points. And here is Heppel. Frost spins left hand, beats him to the punch, but came up short on the reverse layup. Rebound Champlin Park. Near wing Holman pulls it back outside the arc. High arcing three, misses. But the rebound, Tolentino got pushed. No. Called for a travel.
We'll give you one skip, possibly two, but we're not going to give you the Euro hop on that one. So good effort. Huskies a chance to extend their 11-point lead or 12-point lead here with this trip down.
Here comes Heppel. Stops at the box. Bounce pass Frost. Off her leg and out of bounds. That'll be an Andover turnover.
So far I have 6 turnovers for Andover. And that time there just wasn't a lot of movement, ball rotation on that possession. Heppel took it down, got it down in a low block, and then the players kind of became spectators.
To have a 21-point lead, or 21-9 lead here, 12-point lead, and to have 6 turnovers, that's quite amazing. But Andover's played good defense on the other end and has shot well from the field. Burchett.
And you start to recognize those possessions matters, especially when you're playing.
Holman to the hoop, and it rolls off. But the rebound, loose ball stripped away. Tolentino gets it. Kick back to Holman. Here she goes with a kick out. Tolentino ends up with it. And it'll be reset by Spann in between the circles. Burchett steps outside the arc. Came up short again. Spann the rebound. Double team. Goes in with a strong hook shot. That one rolls out. Rebels can't get anything to fall right now. And the rebound, Tolentino this time, gets fouled on her putback attempt. And Natalia Tolentino, the junior, to the line here for the Rebels.
Well, the Rebels essentially had 4 opportunities to score on that set. One of the sets was a steal off of Fields after that rebound. But nonetheless, they've been getting the offensive boards and several opportunities.
Tolentino to the line. Tolentino rolls that one in. Ellie Fields picked up the foul, their first, 3rd team foul here on the Huskies. Number 2 for Tolentino.
Sophia Purcell now in for the Huskies.
Good. 2 points for Tolentino. First points off the bench here tonight for Champlin Park. They've cut it to 10. Heppel now running the point here for Andover. Watched there by Olivia Mell, who just checked into the game. It's Engleby with it. Gives it back to Heppel. Lost her balance and stumbled out of bounds. Another Andover turnover back to Champlin.
8. Yep, just those little, see those possessions down when it comes time for postseason. Those turnovers become magnified.
9:20 left to go here in the first half.
Take that combined with the last exchange at Champlin Park, where they had 3 offensive rebounds and 4 chances on their last trip down.
Sophomore Mel, nice little crossover, gets it into Spann, squares up, shoots it up over the rim on the backside. Tolentino rebounds, takes it back along the baseline to Spann, straight away Lillard. She'll fire it over Tolentino. Into the post to Spann, watched by Miller, shot no good. Miller got a piece of it and then tapped it right back to the Rebels' Brianna Jackson, who scores off the bench here.
Well, keep in mind that it wasn't an official offensive rebound, but they got the missed shot, it was an air ball down below. They have 3 possessions on that one set again.
Engleby underneath, nice feed to Miller, flashing open through the lane. Miller's 4th point tonight for Andover. They're back by 10 now, the 10-point lead.
Hey, a nice dime out top by Engleby.
Into Spann, bumps up against Miller. Spann, that one off the back rim. Battle for the ball along the baseline, out of bounds off of Andover. Champlin holds on.
And see, they get another possession right here. 3rd straight trip where they've had multiple possessions.
Beckman in, Heppel out. Here for the Huskies, 7-6 on the season, 4-3. Game over 500, both in the conference and overall. Tolentino needs to get it in, and she does. Mel, shifty point guard to Tolentino. Long bomb of a three from the corner. Missed. Backside rebound and a foul called on Champlin Park. Miller cleared the glass, and the foul is going to be on Span.
If you notice, a lot of those shots for the Rebels coming just, outside that lane, so the rebounds aren't nearly as big or expanded as you get from a three-point shot. They've got a timeout here. We're waiting for the last player to get off.
Yeah, just a quick referee timeout whistle. Make sure the Span was coming out. Wanted to get her off the court before they put the ball in play.
Purcells takes point.
So it's handover ball near wing. Valor gives it up to Miller. Beckman, here's Miller, straight away. Bang! Morgan Miller drains one from straight away. Give her 3 on that and 7 for the game.
Catch and shoot.
She matches Valor here, 2 top scorers. Here's a steal. It's Valor. Stops, little up and under move, missed it. Back iron, tipped around and out of bounds. It'll stay here with Andover.
That may have gone off of Miller as she reached for the ball at the last minute and may have knocked it out of the hands of the Rebels, but it's going to give the Huskies an opportunity, a second on this set.
Sophia Purcell ready to inbound it, the junior, and it's off a leg, it's loose, it's a scramble and a wrestling match on the floor. And we'll go alternating possession arrow this time in favor of Andover.
Well, third time's a charm. Let's see if they can get it here as you can scrap for it.
Purcell again, cutting through, finds Miller. Oh, nice little spin and pivot to the basket. Morgan Miller, strong move, give her a game-high 9, and that lead is at a game-high 15 now for Andover.
Yeah, good spin, good power move. That spin gave her that spacing.
3 from the corner, and right now Champlin Park cannot buy one from outside. That was Jackson who missed, but an offensive rebound played around by Mel. Lillard crossover, kicked out. Jackson will try again. That one off the front rim. Tolentino goes up and in and gets the rebound. Tolentino has 4 off the bench, and good placement there on the backside.
Well, again, 2 offensive rebounds on that third one. They cashed it in for points. Multiple possessions on
Beckman,
each set.
Miller wanted to bounce past that one along the baseline. It's going to be off a Rebel foot and out of bounds. It'll stay with Andover.
Frost comes back in. Taking a seat will be Purcell.
Both teams going 3-4 players deep here so far. Engelby off the inbounds. 3 from the corner, missed. Backside rebound, Burchette, and she traveled. She just stumbled to the floor. Her looked like her shoe stuck and just went down.
It looked like me outside tonight.
But your shoes aren't sticking outside. They're sliding away. Here's a lob, and that's going to go all the way to the backcourt. And they'll let Andover play it there. There's nothing wrong with that. And Valor goes back to get it. Valor to Miller. Engelby off a screen. Down the middle against Pates. Tried to spin, and Pates with a block. Mariah Pates, good size there. Good reach, got a hand on it. Stays with Andover.
Pates just held her ground. Hands straight up. Engelby trying to get some spacing with some moves, but she did what you're supposed to do with that height differential. Straight up. Nothing I've ever had.
To
Frost. Height differential.
3 inbound. Frost hits it. She has 7. Valor has 7. Miller has 9. It's a 16-point Andover lead.
Looking.
Champlin Park trying to rally. Oh, nice give and go. And Brianna Jackson lays it in off the left wing. 4 points for Jackson off the bench here for the Rebels.
They had a good look there. I think they were going to try an ISO. Then they just went back with a traditional give and go. And they were able.
Engelby, Miller, Andover. One thing you see about their offense, they're very patient. Beckman gets by the defender, kind of throws a runner up there. Wasn't sure what she wanted to do. And the rebound to Jackson. Pushes it here for the Rebels. Lillard Free throw line, kicked out. Pates, 19-footer, foot on the line. Rebound tapped around. Strong rebound is up and good. Burchett, strong move to the basket.
Well, right.
She leads her Rebels now with 7.
Hey, Rebels are out hustling on that offensive board.
Engelby takes it herself. Just shy of the semicircle in the paint. Went down, had it stripped, and it's stolen away. Tolentino the other way. Andover called for a foul.
But if you looked statistically at things and looked at the number of turnovers that Andover has, and then the number of offensive rebounds that the Rebels are getting to extend possessions, you would think this would be at least tied, if not for the Rebels being up at least 4 or 5. But Andover is up by 12.
Beckman called for the foul, her first, 4th team foul on Andover. Champlin Park has 3 fouls, so we're still a few away from bonus. And Tolentino with the dribble drive down the left side. So that's Ryan Giles. And just lost the handle off the dribble, off her leg and out of bounds. Turnover, Champlin Park goes back here to the Huskies. Heppel back in there running the offense. In low to Miller. Miller backing down against Pates. Here's the little baby hook shot, no good. Rebound back up, doesn't fall. But Emma Frost gets fouled and will get a pair of free throws.
That's right. I wasn't sure if she was going to need to dribble, or maybe she just thought she needed that last dribble, but she drew the foul on it. But a good offensive board. Therefore, the Huskies' height differential she was able to take advantage of.
Brianna Jackson getting called for the foul. 2 foul shots here for Engelby. First one's no good. That is the first, check that, Emma Frost. First miss from the line here tonight for Andover. Number 2 here for Frost, who has 7 points tonight. Can add to that Andover lead. Can't, but the rebound is controlled underneath. Valor goes up. Another whistle and a foul.
Well, great offensive board by Valor. We are just commenting on the success that the Rebels have had on that old board, and now the Huskies countering, and this is a good person to have at the line.
Mariah Pates called and picks up her 2nd personal foul, 5th here on the Rebels, and that's 3 straight misses here from the line for Andover after they missed and made their first 4. They've now missed their last 3. Valor will get another. Valor had 23 in that win over Coon Rapids. Their most recent game for Andover last Thursday was 72-24. That was coming off the heels of a loss to a very good Maple Grove team, 81-38.
Yep, you're right in that game. Valerie's at 23, Engelby 14, Frost 13, Miller 9.
Valor hits the second one. She has an even 8 points now. Miller leads the Huskies with 9. And that lead is at 13. At its largest, it was 16 here for the Huskies. Jackson being pressured out top. Andover extending that person-to-person defense here. Tapped away, getting a hand on it nicely was Morgan Miller into the corner. Scramble for it. Who touched it last? That is going to be the ruling here. It'll stay with Champlin Park.
Good hustle, extended, trying to save it to a teammate. Unable to. And what Andover's doing, too, on their man-to-man defense is who's ever out on the perimeter of their player, they're dropping that player in to take the lane defensively.
Burchett. 3 from outside. That's her 2nd of the game. And she has 10 to lead the Rebels. She's starting to heat up a little bit here. Gets it back to 10. Heppel, Valor, quick handoff to Frost, who comes in on the right side, loops around, and gets fouled.
Well, Frost might have gotten saved on that one. We'll take another look to see if they actually got a hand in it or she just lost the grip. But it was a good weave up top as they cycled the top of the key, and then that created a nice runway for Frost.
And I think Coach Crutch is talking right now to the official. He thought maybe his defender had all ball.
You can see a look at it right now. So yeah.
Or she just lost it, and there wasn't enough contact there for a foul. I think it might be what he's talking about. But Frost goes to the line here, hits them both after missing to her previous trip. She has 9 for the game now. That leads at 12. Lillard. Kicked out, open. Giles, no good. Huskies back with Miller. Brings it across the timeline. Valor. Frost, right back to Valor. In and around. Reverse layup, but they're going to call her for a foul, saying that she's used her elbow and her arm to slingshot around. And that'll give it up here to Champlin Park. So no basket. It'll be Rebel ball.
Yep, they believe she used that arm to kind of hook herself and get into position to veer that player away.
The old elbow hook shot right there, the slingshot around. It helps to get balance, but if you don't get away with it, you're going to get called.
I remember Thompson tried that on me.
Holman off the glass, and it's good.
Man, see, they're making their move, coming back.
Holman's their leading scorer, and that's her 4th point here as Heppel brings it across the timeline. Off the bench is Ellie Fields on the field and on the court right now. And it's stripped away. Valor lost it. Here come the Rebels. Burchette, she's feeling it. There it is, little hook shot runner. Comes off the back iron.
She leads the team with 10 right now for the Rebels.
Valor. And a loose ball out top. Reaching for it is Holman, and she's going to get a foul.
Yeah, either that or Burchette. Burchette put a pretty hard slap on the wrist of Valor also.
Holman getting the foul. That is now the 7th team foul. That means bonus now here for Andover. Heppel will go to the line. Little 1-and-1 here for the Andover Huskies. 2:59 left to go in the first half.
It goes library quiet.
And it is no good. Front end of the 1-and-1. Span with the outlet was errant, but Holman tracks it down. And then she tries to whip it across here to the near wing, and it's intercepted. Heppel did a nice job hustling back defensively. Heppel to Fields. Now Miller drives in, goes to the left hand. Morgan Miller, right hand, and then to the left. And a nice touch off the glass. She has 11 to lead the Huskies.
I like that spin move.
12-point lead here. Backdoor. Oh, wonderful defense by Miller. Anticipated the backdoor to Span. Here's the feed up ahead to Frost. Stops, shoots, and hits. Off the glass with the touch. Frost now with 11. Back far side. Giles a 3. Kicks out off the back iron. Rebound Engelby. They've got numbers back. Underneath. Nice bounce pass, and it's up and good. Miller. And a big run here for Andover, and Coach Crutch for Champlin Park is going to have to call a timeout as Andover is now matched their largest lead of the game at 16. What a run.
Yeah, and great hands, too, by Miller, as that ball was almost stripped on that dime that came to her by her teammate. But good job by Miller. Way to run the floor and some good D.
Champlin Park calling their second timeout of this first half with 2:03 remaining.
Look at that keys to the game here, but we started, and before the game, believe it or not, before the game, we had this insight, and that was minimize turnovers. And
you had this insight as the great color man and analyst there, Joe.
So ball rotation, you can see the Huskies get themselves into some trouble when they become spectators and don't move that ball and have one person dribbling and defensive focus. When they go to defense, their defense creates that offense and then get into core four to score early, and they have certainly done that. I think 2 of the core 4 are in double figures, and another just a bucket away from that as well. So they've been able to get everyone into the flow of that offense. Now the one thing they just need to manage better is probably those turnovers, minimizing turnovers.
Miller has 13, Frost 11, Valor 8, and Engelby with 5. Your top 4 scores, and the other 3 points, Lacey Heppel at a 3 earlier in this first half. So we have 2 minutes left in the first. Champlin Park coming out of the timeout. Nicole Lillard will take it across that midcourt stripe. Burchette, 1 dribble to Span, who did not start but has seen most of the action down on the post. Burchette forced back to the center circle. She drives, kicks out. Giles. She'll dribble instead of take the 3. Gets it to the hoop, but it comes up short. Andover rebound, Miller. Got away with maybe a carry there. Heppel. Back to Engelby. Back to Frost. Down low. This is Miller again. Span. Span, strong defense. Really stood her ground. And I think they're going to whistle that as a travel. And it is. So Miller will turn it over on the travel. You'll see it right here. Good post play, good battle down low, and Span held her ground, and The pivot foot.
Yep, that time she kind of came inside. Maybe she could have spun to the outside to elevate that shot. But when she came inside, she kind of disrupted the momentum, causing that travel.
16-point Andover lead. Champlin Park now wants to go on a late run of their own here and cut into that in the final minute 10 of the first half. And on that far side, Holman. Here's Burchett, a three. Doesn't go. Spann got a hand on it out of bounds along with Morgan Miller, and Miller touched it last. Out of bounds, Champlin Park will maintain possession.
Burchett, number 5, has started hot, has 10 in the team lead, but she's cooled off here the last few possessions.
Holman inbounds for Tolentino, goes up. That gets blocked and deflected away. And the rebound here to the Huskies.
Good defense that time by Ella Fields.
Heppel's got it, under a minute left to go. Heppel, Fields, looking down low, dribbles, gives it up, little loop around to the hoop and a foul. Strong move, a lot of body contact there in the collision with Morgan Miller going to the net for the Huskies, and the foul on the Rebels.
And Miller almost the and one opportunity, but she kept her focus as that block came in just a little late. It may have been a little late combined with being inside or on that circle. So Miller gets a chance to head back and add to her team high.
Lillard gets called for the foul, the 8th team foul. And Miller to the line, gets the bounce. 14th point of the game here for Morgan Miller. Make that 15. Perfect. She's 2 for 2 from the line here in this one in this first half. 15 for Morgan Miller, 40 seconds left. And that lead is at 18. That's the largest it has been here for the Huskies. Jackson drives. Burchett gets it straight away. Staying close on her is Frost. Here comes the lob to Spann. And they're going to call her for 3 seconds.
Well, you know what? The last couple of minutes of each half in the beginning, it's kind of like Saturday on the golf tour. It's moving day, and it's a shift. You see a shift transpire, and right now the Huskies have been able to take advantage of the last 2 to 3 minutes of this half.
Heppel tries to
and
thread,
right on cue,
thread the needle. 2 defenders, and tried to force it into Miller, and it's out of bounds. Huskies will turn it over and will give Champlin Park another possession here. They inbound with 13 seconds left. Burchett will back it up. Looking for Holman instead. She's going to try to take Frost off the dribble. Stopped at the arc. Here's a turnaround shot with about 1 second left, and that's going to come up short as that shot was taken by Tolentino, and that is the end of our first half here from Andover High School. Good shooting here for the Huskies. Good defense for the Huskies. Scoring in transition, and they'll have themselves an 18-point lead going into the second half. 42-24, Andover leads Champlin Park. High school girls basketball on QCTV Sports.
Welcome to our winter edition of At the Half, the show where we take a closer look at some of our area high school sports. I'm your host, Chuck Stens. Andover boys and girls hockey look to capitalize on their outstanding dual state championships last year. In order to continue their success into this season, let's talk with the head coaches from both teams to see what the teams have to bring.
I'm Melissa Volk, and this is my 10th year at Andover. Our expectations are kind of similar every single year to be getting better, as the season goes and be playing our best hockey come February. We're a year older. Last year we were super young with so many freshmen on the team, and now kids are kind of filling some different roles and kind of figuring it out this year. Our captains, Ella Berger, Issa Gettle, Maddie Brown, that top line of ours, and then also Kaylin Mom back at D, Courtney Stegman, our goalie, but then a lot of other players that fill some huge roles for us and give us that depth that we need. Yeah, so every game, we kind of get excited for and another opportunity to play with our teammates and whatnot. But tomorrow we play Minnetonka, so that's a big game. And then we're in the Dyna tournament after Christmas. Yeah, we love our youth girls. We're so lucky to know all of them on such an individual basis. But the biggest thing that we preach here is just working hard and having a good attitude.
My name's Mark Manny. I'm the head coach of the boys hockey team at Andover High School. Well, last year's team, a lot of our skill up front was underclassmen. And when you have underclassmen leading your team on offense, they don't feel the pressure that seniors feel. So they tend to kind of play loose and play very well. Seniors sometimes, get the feeling it might be their last game if they lose, and sometimes that leads to not playing well. So we had the perfect combo last year of great senior leaders who were calm under pressure and juniors who played free. We'll see what we have this year. Our best players are going to be seniors this year, and sometimes, like I say, that's not a great recipe, and sometimes it is. So we hope our young guys get better every game, and then we get good leadership, and I think this team will be pretty good by the end of the year. Well, up front, our three big guys are Gavin Thorson, Caden Casey, and Cooper Conway. Casey and Thorson both had over 70 points last year. Conway was hurt about half the year, so he had his offensive numbers didn't look quite as impressive, but they're going to be our leaders up front. Throw in senior Mac Yell, and we're looking for big things offensively from him, and junior Ben Dahl as well. And after that, we're going to see who steps forward and kind of takes the mantle and runs. On the backside, Tristan May Robinson, senior captain, who's been a stalwart for us for 2 years now, and will be again for a third. And then Landon Stringfellow, a junior who played a regular shift last year and is getting better by the day. Back in the net, we lost Austin Bronze, who was probably the best goalie in Minnesota last year. So we're just looking for who's going to step forward and take that job. We've got 4 very capable goalies, and any of them could be our starter by the end of the year.
The Tornadoes have some new dedicated members of their cheerleading squad. Let's check in with them to learn some more.
I started coaching this year. I used to coach at a different school for an elementary competitive team, so this is kind of a switch up, but I really like it.
My name is Jordan Waldinger, and I've been coaching here for 4 years. I'm going to be going on 5. I came here to be the assistant coach just right after I graduated high school, so I've been here for a bit.
Last year was kind of rough for us. We had a lot of drama, a lot of issues, but I feel like this year we have the most committed and hardworking team that I've ever seen.
Yeah, we are this is some of the most hardworking girls I've ever met. They're so committed. They want to win. They want to be here every day. They want to put in the work, and they want to get that bid.
I think there's just more energy, more effort. So I just think this team is just miles different than it was last year. They want to be here. I can tell they want to be here. They want to put in the work. They're putting in work outside of practice.
Yeah, the drive is really there. I enjoy it.
We learned from our middle school coaches that were old Anoka cheerleaders that learned different ways and different techniques and stuff. And basically, when we got our new coach, Caitlin, she brought in some new cheers that she did with her old team.
Also cheers that she had learned in high school herself.
Yeah.
So cheers end up kind of just being a big collaboration of what ends up working for the team and like what we like the most.
Our pyramids that we do in our competitive routine, we have performed them at football games just to kind of practice it in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
And we've done a couple of routines at Pep Fest.
I think games that we cheer at, I feel that's more performing, and competitions I do view as like competing. Like it's more intense.
Our first competition of the year usually is regionals, and it's always the Saturday before Halloween. And then after that, we have competitions usually on Saturdays, every weekend or every other weekend kind of after that.
Until like late February when Nationals is.
When I got hired, that was my goal to the AD, was I would like to take this team to nationals. That's a huge goal for coaches as well.
Yeah.
So.
Coaching this team, we've gotten, 2 bids, I think, and we just haven't gone yet. So I think that's always my goal.
Nationals. We want to get
to nationals. Yep.
The Rebels gymnastics team is committed to setting goals and improving throughout the season. Let's see what the team is up to and how they plan to seek success this winter.
We're down a bit, but I've always said I want to work with athletes who will work hard. Like, if you love gymnastics and you work hard, that's who I want to work with. And we've got a core group of great girls. We've got an awesome senior leader in Melina Ung. I don't know anybody that's worked harder. So it's been a pleasure to coach her, and she's already been an awesome, invaluable captain, and I know that will keep going through the season.
We lost about half of our team, I'd say, and then we got a lot of new middle schoolers, which is really nice, so that we have a really young team right now, and I think the season will be really fun. We have our summer practices, and then we also do, I tried to do monthly team bondings over the summer before season started.
So the technique is the thing that takes a little bit more time and repetitions to build, and well, really all those things, strength, flexibility, but the strength and flexibility are what we really focus on as a coaching staff. Of those are things we can control. If you're doing your splits daily and really working it, you'll get more flexible. If you're doing shoulder stretches, and we do partner shoulder stretches and a lot of different stretches, you'll get more shoulder flexibility. So the strength and flexibility we focus on a lot. We focus a lot on improvement. So it's always a goal of ours with both our varsity and JV to have the team from that first meet to the end meet improve 8 to 10 points. And last year I think we got almost to 12 with the varsity, and I think maybe even 13 with the JVs. So those continue to be our goals. So this year we're just focusing on rebuilding those good team habits and that mentality towards improvement. And we're going to try and beat those teams that are at that same level that we're at, and show that we worked to be our best on that day.
That's it for this edition of At the Half. Make sure to keep up to date with all your local sports coverage by liking and subscribing to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Thanks for watching.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Hey, welcome back to Andover High School. Along with Joe Rulin, I'm Jim Erickson. Both teams back out on the court and ready to go in half number 2 in this Northwest Suburban Conference girls basketball tilt. Champlin Park in the white uniforms. They get the ball to start this half. They're down 42-24, down by 18 at the break. They get it down low to their post. Pates off the glass and missing a rebound to the Huskies.
Well, set play coming out of the half, excuse me for that. Then they obviously set that up and wanted to get that first bucket in the lane.
Original starting 5 out there for the Huskies. Miller, Frost, left-hand dribble. Watched by Giles out to the left side, and a 3 that rims out, but on the backside, ready for the rebound, Miller. Miller goes underneath, a reverse layup back to the hoop. Little razzle-dazzle there, didn't quite go. Rebound, Champlin Park. Rebels push it back. Giles, the kick out to Burchette. Lillard Down the left side of the lane. Can't get it to go. Comes up short. Another rebound, this time Valor. Push for Engelby in the middle, right on the mark. Wonderful transition, and Emma Frost finishes.
Oh, Frost got that right at the height of kind of that cut and hop. Boy, good move, so athletic. And cashes it in now, 13.
Here comes Lillard. Lillard hands it off. Giles. Giles for Holman. Back to Lillard. Giles again. Champlin Park did not shoot that well in the first half. There's a three that misses by Holman. Rebound back, Valor. Pushed again for Miller. Right back in the middle for Engelby. Off with the left hand. And a layup. 7 here for Engelby, and a quick start. That leads jumping up now to 22 here for the Huskies if they scored the first 4 of this half. And that one goes in the dribble drive here for Champlin Park, up and in for Ava Holman.
Holman now is 6 with that cutter. They needed that bucket. They needed something back down low because nothing outside from 3 has been working.
Valor with 8 points in that first half. Tried to bounce pass it out. Didn't connect to Beckman. And a blocking foul. Beckman trying to get back to deny the dribble along the near sideline. And trying to cut Ava Holman off at the pass, but it'll be a foul. So Beckman getting the foul. First personal foul in that first half. Miller at 15, or has 15 now. Frost had 11, now with 13. Engelby had 5 at the half, and Valor had 8. And Heppel had 3 here for Andover. This one goes into the backcourt. It'll be over and back. Turnover, Champlin Park going back here to the Huskies.
And Jim, we had said Ashley Burchett had the hot hand. She had 10, almost halfway through the first half, but then the Huskies put their best defender on her. And that is Frost. And she has not scored since then.
Defense makes a difference. This is Engelby. Takes it herself. Little hesitation and off the glass. 2 for Engelby.
Alters the shot, but takes it to the bank.
She has 9 for the game. Giles. Holman spinning on the right side. Steps back. Long. 2-pointer is good. Ava Holman. She has 8. 20-point game.
Yep, they need that hot hand to start contributing.
Engelby, Valor, spins to the middle, and that one of the few shots like that have missed here for Andover tonight. Holman gets the rebound. She takes it to the middle, takes on the defense, takes it to the hoop, a basket and a foul.
She is in the zone. Oh, what a drive with conviction to the lane. And Holman has all 6 points for the Rebels here in the second half.
Rebels went to the line just 4 times in that first half compared to 13 for Andover. They were 4 for 4 on those 4 trips. This will be their first trip here in the second half, and it is good. A 3-point conversion here. The and one. Holman has 11 now to lead the Rebels, and they've cut it to 17. Cutting to the basket, Valor stops, shoots short. As Spann held her ground, then got the rebound, gives it up to Lillard. Lillard on the push the other way. Rebels setting up in their offense.
I was just going to say, are we going to see Frost?
Giles, Holman, down to Spann. They had backside defense, but going for the block and the steal was Valor. Spann kept it alive, and it's back out on the perimeter for the Rebels. Burchett, near side, Holman. Long high 3, off the iron, rebound, pushed ahead. Miller finds Engelby. Back to Miller, who is trailing the play. And a whistle and a foul block here against Champlin Park.
That'll be foul number 3. And that'll go to Lillard. Transition again.
Lillard's 3rd personal foul. First this half on Champlin Park.
And Miller hitting those key free throws.
16 for her. 3 for 3 from the line. Andover in the first half, 9 of 13 from the free throw line.
Miller a high of 17 this year.
Had 9 against Coon Rapids, their most recent game. That one's no good. Aaron outlet. Burchett ends up with it. She'll take it 1-on-3 with a runner. And no numbers there for Champlin Park on the rebound. It's picked up by Valor, who fires it ahead for Frost. And then trailing is Morgan Miller. Good trailing play, and Frost found her. It's 51-31.
Was that ball movement, not only on the transition to passing, such a selfless team.
Span. Shot missed. As Miller flopped back a little bit to try and draw the foul, didn't get it, but Andover gets it back anyway. Beckman outside the arc. In low, up and under, move by Valor. Oh, and it rolls out. Rebound Engelby. And has it stripped. Lillard with a steal. 2-on-3 the other way for Champlin Park. Bounce past Giles, back out to Lillard, partially blocked. Miller got a piece of that. And here come the Huskies again. A frantic pace right now here in the second half. Up and down, back and forth. Into the paint to Miller. Miss, Span, rebound. Rebels push. Burchett. Kicked out Giles. 3 is good. Giles, first points of the night. Nails a 3, 51-34.
Well, they're in dire need of somebody to start stroking those threes and outside that perimeter. So good for Giles, and the Rebels cut in, now just down by 17.
Huskies slowed it up here as they brung it across slowly and set up in the half-court offense. Miller, nice post move. She's got it. Works that pivot foot up against Span and has a teeter on the front rim and fall. She will get an and one opportunity here.
Hey, I'd like that footwork. Even earlier, she tried the reverse layup in the second half to begin, but she got possession and she stepped back. You didn't see some of that last year.
Span picked up her second foul. That's the second team foul, and Morgan Miller has 20 points now, a chance to make it 21.
And the Huskies have that good pace of the play, which will come in handy for the shot clock next year.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we noticed here when we were setting up, that the shot clocks have been installed above both of the backboards here. You see it right there above the backboard. Daktronics, really the first name, maybe the only name in scoreboards really these days. And it will have the game clock up there, plus it'll have the 35-second shot clock. And it starts as soon as you take possession of that ball. And it starts next year, although the Lake Conference decided that they would go with it a year earlier, as long as both schools going into the game would agree to it. And I think they've all agreed to it, get used to it early. That will be a big change. I remember that championship game. Was it Lakeville North and who? Who was the 4 class? Lakeville North versus somebody, where they played overtime and the teams just held it the whole overtime until it got to about 15 seconds, and then they went and tried to get a basket to win it in the overtime. That's not going to happen again. That won't happen ever again here in high school basketball with the 35-second shot clock. I think it's a good move. It was a move that probably should have been done a long time ago. The only thing is there was the cost. There was the cost of the clocks. There was the cost of the person that will have to be there to run. That's a one-person job to watch that shot clock.
And they actually ran the shot clock this weekend at a Minnesota Basketball Hall of Fame.
You ran it?
No, they had the shot clock. It was at Anoka Ramsey Community College.
Here's a basket up and good and a 3 by Ryan Giles.
So Andover played Hopkins. Gosh, another great game was Lakeville North playing Eden Prairie. And shot clock was in play for that one-day tourney.
Valor's drive got stripped. Pates plays it into the front court for Burchett. To the right side, Giles hits another one. She has 3 threes all in the second half. 9 points, trying to get her team back in this one as the Rebels have cut it to 14.
She may need to do a temperature check next
here's
possession.
A steal.
It's a steal, yep.
Stolen away. Fields had it. Rebels have it back.
Get it back
Near
to her.
side, Giles. Shot short, rebound underneath. Holman got it, and she was fouled. She'll go to the line. And Holman's had a great second half here as well. She has 7 second-half points and a chance to add to it here as the Rebels are making a push back.
Well, and just look at what happens when you're active, even away from the ball. And that time Holman was there for that offensive rebound again, and now she capitalizes and kicks it up. But they had good ball movement, good rotation, getting that ball into that shooting slot for
Holman hits the first one, her 12th point, now 13.
Yep,
9 points this half for Holman, and it's down to a 12-point game. By the way, that was the 3rd foul on Valor. We'll have to keep an eye on that here for Andover. They work it down to Miller. Miller to the hoop, and she will get fouled.
Good job. As I was talking before that timeout, you could see Miller's been working footwork-wise, or even the way she is positioning herself against taller defenders, strong defenders, and a little stronger this year as well. And tonight, she's exceeded her season high.
Pates picks up the foul. That's her third. And Miller connects. Another free throw made by Morgan Miller, 22 points. She is now 5 of 6 from the line. Try and make that 6 of 7. No. Tapped around, kept alive, and Heppel ends up with it. It's Andover ball. Their lead's at 13. 11:20 left in the second half. Heppel off the screen by Miller to the left side. The three comes up short. Engelby off the front rim, and then a battle underneath for the rebound. And we'll get a jump ball, held ball, possession arrow, or we're going to get a foul. Nope, on the arm. He went like this with the 1-1. That looks like a jump ball possession arrow, but instead that means foul on Tolentino.
I'm used to saying that's one-on-one. That's I'm number one. But
with both hands. That's an interesting way of doing it.
Yes.
Left side, here's the inbounds, and from the corner, Engelby misses, and the rebound pushed the other way, Tolentino. Drive to the basket for the Rebels is up and good. The layup, Ryan Giles continues her hot second half. She has 11 points in this second half. 3 threes, and now that 2 on that drive to the basket and the layup. Got it down to 11, and a foul the other way.
Yep, that time was Burchett reaching in. She was leaning in and reaching in, and I was wondering how much longer they would keep Frost on the bench. A stellar defender.
Defensive specialist, certainly, yeah. Heppel to inbound. Second personal on Burchett. 5th already here on Champlin Park. And Andover's been very good on the inbound passes as Frost gets another one off the inbound. She has 15, right side 3, rattling out here for the Rebels. Giles trying to follow her miss, but the rebound picked up here by the Huskies.
Yep, that last 3 by Giles looked a little flat, which usually is a result of someone being tired. You use your legs so much on those shots.
Frost all the way back to the left wing, out to Heppel, open 3, yes. Lacey Heppel, her second 3 off the bench tonight. She has 6 off the bench. That leads back to 16 here for the Huskies.
Yeah, she's looked fresh. She's hit her shots when she's had them.
Giles stolen away, stripped right out of her hands by Fields. Fields takes it herself, got too far underneath the hoop at the bottom of the basket, and Pates ends up with it. And Giles sets up the offense for Champlin Park. Andover's largest lead tonight has been 22. Right now it's 16. Here's Holman. High rainbow 3. Heppel, though, off the rebound, pushes it back ahead for Andover. A little bit over the head of Frost, but she regathers, and an almost steal by Tolentino. She dribbles it on the sideline. It stays with Andover.
Good movement. I'm just curious to see if Andover's going to switch who's covering who here on this trip down. Next time they are on D.
Beckman on the inbounds. Kick out. Purcell is open, and she gets in on the act. Sophia Purcell, a bomb, and her first 3 points of the night.
Hey, that helps when you get the pass right in that shooting slot, and you're able to just catch and release.
The Tolentino drive, and she scores.
Yeah, that's why they may need to switch up who Frost is guarding, because Tolentino is lighting it up here in the second half.
Heppel for the Huskies. Crossover. Tries to take Holman off the dribble. She does. And takes it all the way to the hoop.
That was a nice move. A good left-handed move off an excellent defender.
And then the clear out as well as the Huskies, the other offensive players, cleared out in the middle and left the middle of that lane open for Heppel's drive for her 8th point of the game. Meanwhile, a foul the other way. Purcell called for the foul, first personal. 4th team foul here on Andover, and the Rebels will go to the line with Tolentino. Misses the first one.
Holman will come out.
Miller also in for Andover.
They replace Holman with Balangi.
And both free throws no good. Rebound ends up going out of bounds off of Andover. It'll stay with Champlin Park. A break there for the Rebels.
Well, if they're going to hit the switch, the Rebels, it's got to come now.
Burchett inbounds it. Belangi gives it up, then it ends up back to Burchett. Quick little crossover, kick out Giles. Sets it up back outside the arc to the free throw line. Tried to do something behind the back, it looked like, and loose ball at the free throw line, and players converge. Arrow in favor of Andover.
Couldn't do anything with that extra possession. The Rebels. Curious to see if they're going to start with any press or something just to kind of change.
Lob down low.
See,
Miller scores. Perfect lob pass on the entry down low, and Miller now with 24.
And when you don't play that tight of defense on the person who is inbounding or throwing that ball in, you can take as much time as you want and loft it without too much pressure.
Giles Tolentino, and a nice little feed down low to Brianna Jackson, who was coming in on the right wing, and she fed her and led her perfectly on that drive. Nice assist. 6 points, Brianna Jackson off the bench for Champlin Park. Into Miller. Miller short this time. Tolentino grabs another rebound. She likes to push it the other way, and she gets fouled.
Yeah, she knew Miller was right there. She kind of just kept leaning into her, obviously with the speed and agility advantage. But I thought Miller was going to capitalize. Now they bring in Pates once again, some more height for Champlin Park.
Burchett into Tolentino. They've got it to under 20 right now. It's 19, but the clock not their friend here with 7:40 left. Pulling up the dribbles, Burchett hands it off to Tolentino. Burchett clear out on the right side against Heppel. Came up short, another one short. Rebound, trying to get to it was Miller. Somebody had a hand grab of her arm. Burchett comes in. Here's her runner on the baseline, no good. Miller this time with it cleanly, and will dribble away with it. Backcourt here for the Huskies.
You can't say Burchett didn't have the opportunities that trip down.
Purcell, Heppel, and now here's Engelby on a drive, but a travel.
Yep,
Took
as
steps.
she transitioned that ball to that right hand. They called her for the extra step. Valor comes back in. Valor comes in, and also sitting out is Engelby.
Andover trying to get their 8th win of the season. Huskies a year ago won 16. They were 16-13. Olivia Mell at the point for Champlin Park. Inside to Pates, put it on the floor, and Heppel was there to get a hand on it. Another wrestling match down on the floor here. And this time we'll go back to the possession arrow, and the Rebels hold on to it.
Yeah, the good stuff. Stay on your feet to try to grab that ball and work it free. Once you get down on those knees and lock it up, it's...
Mel into Lillard. Lillard, right-hand dribble inside that paint, stripped away, but luckily for the Rebels it comes to Jackson. Then they work it right back to Lillard in the corner, down low Pates. Pates, one dribble, up off the glass, too high. And the defensive glass, Valor. And she'll take it herself. Huskies have a number of players who can bring that ball up, just like Valor. Drives to the box, spins around, kicks it out to Frost. Frost from 10. And Emma Frost has 17 for the game.
I like that runner. Whoa, sweet move, nothing but net.
Approaching 6:20 left, and that leads at 21 here for Andover. First of 2 meetings between these teams. Pates takes it inside the paint. Quick little kick out back to Mel. Again, second time, Mel with a shot. From the three-point line, missed it. Rebound is loose on the floor. Miller ends up with it. She'll come the other way. Got away with the double dribble there. Here comes the long pass shot. That's no good this time by Valor. Rebound Rebels. All the way to the hoop and a block with Belangi going that time. It'll stay here with Champlin Park.
Well, Belangi, I think, had no intention of passing that ball. She got it.
She decided at the timeline she's going to take it to the basket.
Yeah, put that head down. She was going to get that first down or the bucket.
And Belangi will inbound on that baseline. Mel, Holman, Belangi. Andover doing a nice job fighting through picks. Nothing open out top. Here is the dribble drive, left-hand Mel. Had it stripped away. Comes back out Holman. Holman with a running hook shot. She gets the roll. Ava Holman leads the Rebels with 15. The lead is 19.
Yeah, 11 points for Holman here in the second half.
Heppel. Near side, Valor. In low, Miller. Far side, Frost. Here's her drive. Strong move to the basket, and she goes up with a left hand on the left wing drive.
Yeah, I like how comfortable she is with that left hand on those layups.
Frost now with 19. And it's Lillard for Champlin Park. That lead is 21. Here's her baseline running shot. She'll get a couple on the foul. Lillard to the line.
And Miller will pick up her third. So 5-minute time here. They've got to start making a shift and a move here to the Rebels.
Exactly 5 minutes left. Free throw good here for Lillard. She is, all her points have come from the line. She's 3 for 3 from the line tonight. Span comes back in on the post.
Belangi takes the bench. Engelby back in.
And the free throw good. Lillard 4 for 4 here tonight for Champlin Park, and it's out of bounds. The Huskies on the inbounds pass after the made free throw. Throwing it out of bounds, and the Rebels get a break here and a baseline inbound now.
Andover's cut down on those turnovers here in the second half. But that was one they'd probably like to have back, just one of those inbound miscommunications.
Mel sits down. Burchette to inbound. Holman, they work it on the right side. Lillard keeps it on that right wing to the free throw line. Pates, down low, Span. They got a high-low now with Pates and Span out there to the left side. Burchette takes a three and a foul on the Huskies.
Yeah, just
kind of undercutting her was Purcell trying to box her out.
I don't know if she lost balance, but she leaned into her and got an elbow on her. So they had a couple of fouls to choose from, but now you don't want to get her hot. She had 10 in the first half. She hasn't scored since about the 7-minute mark of the first half. But now she gets a chance to go to the line for 3 and heat it up again.
Burchette, who averages 8.1 a game. Free throw, first is good. She has 11 for the game. Holman leads the Rebels with 15. Giles has 11, all of them here this half. Number 2 for Burchette, nothing but net. And she's taking 3 here because it was a 3-point attempt on that foul. So she'll get another.
Heppel returns back in, and Purcell's will head to the bench.
And she makes all 3. Nice trip to the line here for Ashley Burchette. 3 for 3, 13 points. It's a 16-point game, 71-55. Husky ball. Heppel running the offense. Miller back to Heppel. 3 feet outside the arc to the far side, Valor.
Here's where maybe that shot clock plays a role. Let's see how much clock the Huskies will take off here.
Yeah, not till next year, though. Here's the drive to the basket all the way coming around from the left wing, and that little reverse was Valor, and it's out of bounds, Champlin Park ball. Oh, there's no doubt that'll have an effect. No doubt that'll have an effect on teams' plan and how the games end as far as possessions and how you take care of possessions and how you manage your fouls to get teams into the bonus. It'll certainly expand the game as far as the number of possessions. With teams with the lead, it'll change their philosophy, no doubt. Andover has it in the backcourt off of the rebound. Heppel here on the left side, a little shake and bake, Valor. Engelby backs it right back out, gives it to Frost. Frost for Miller. Andover working out on the perimeter here. They have a 16-point lead. They're in no hurry here. Miller drives in traffic and gets the roll. Morgan Miller, 2 more for her, and she has 26. And you said, Joe, that's a season high.
Well, you know, the other guy, I spoke with a couple of the officials on Saturday after a couple of the games, and all of them said, that shot clock's going to force me to get in better shape.
Burchette,
my legs were shot.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Burchette missed the 3. It's Andover ball.
especially with that Hopkins-Andover game. Both teams were beyond, I think it was 88-81 final for Hopkins.
Engelby has it tipped away. Nifty dribble behind the back. Burchett into the front court. Crossover inside the paint and a pass behind the back. Good idea. She wanted to go to Mariah Pates. It was a little bit out in front of her. That would have just been just a pretty drive from end to end by Ashley Burchett, showing off some skill.
Pates got caught kind of watching that time. She stopped and momentum came still. But, yeah, that's it. But, hey, that shot clock changes so many elements. But let's take a look at some schedules that are coming up for these teams. And as I mentioned, it's kind of the turn. It's the shift for this regular season. And so the Huskies are beginning 26 games in the regular season. They begin game 14 right here. And next up for the Huskies as they begin that turn. But keep in mind that first part they get coming up as they're at Centennial on the 20th. Blaine, they'll host Blaine, and then they'll host Robbinsdale Armstrong, travel to Rogers, and then they get another tough one at home against Maple Grove. Meanwhile, for the Rebels, they're at Anoka, host Maple Grove on the 26th. They go to Blaine, and then they go to De La Salle on the 28th, and then to Tino Grace, who they'll host on the 30th. But the Huskies played, as I mentioned, Rosemont. They had a couple of other tough teams outside of conference play, and got to look at some different style ball early on in the season in those holiday classics. So
they played Eastview, Duluth East, Lakeville North, some of their non-conference games. They did defeat South St. Paul. You mentioned they lost to Rosemont in that Hopkins Classic back in early December, where you get a foul called here on Ashley Burchett for Champlin Park, her third. Sixth team foul here on Champlin Park. Andover has 17 fouls, so we're bonus the rest of the way here for the final 2:59.
And I think the Rebels are going to try to put Andover at the line.
Well, and they're pressing here on the inbounds really for the first time tonight, trying to get force some turnovers here as it's brought across. Engelby gets it right back from Beckman, and Heppel will back her way back towards that center circle. On her, Jackson. Up high, Beckman posting up. Hands it back to Valor. Backdoor to Beckman. Oh, and she missed it. She was wide open off of that backdoor cut, but she missed it. And Champlin Park comes back. Lillard ends up capitalizing on it. Puts it in on a right wing drive.
Swing of points there, but
here's Engelby backing in. This one again doesn't go. That was down, defied gravity and came out. Rebound Rebels. Burchett to the hoop, comes up short, down to the floor. Rebound Engelby. Crossover at the timeline. Kicked out far side Beckman. Back out high Heppel. 2 minutes left. Heppel, Valor, Heppel, Engelby. Here's Valor. Underhand layup. Went with a sugar scoop underneath as there's somebody on her arm, and still got it up, and we'll be able to force that shot and get two shots here.
Trying to get that spin. I'm going to guess that Frost and Miller are done for the night. I think Frost ended up with, was it 19? And Miller 24.
I had Miller for 26. And Frost with 19. As Valor to the line missed it here. The foul was on Brianna Jackson. Both teams with 17 fouls. We mentioned bonus the rest of the way. These are two shots for Valor, and that one is short. Tapped around. Engelby got a hand on it. Lillard ends up with it for Champlin Park with 1:45 left. Lillard pushes it on the right side. Kicked out. Open. Jackson. Three. Back iron. Backside rebound tapped around. It's controlled by the Huskies. They got a 2-on-1 here if they force it the way. Engelby will take it herself. And getting a piece of the ball was Lillard. Then Engelby gets it back. Very persistent and gets her 11th point of the game.
11 for 11. Third player in double figures.
Jackson. Too high off the glass. And Fields the rebound. Outlet Heppel. Up ahead, Valor. There's a little Euro step, and she scores. Valor in double digits now with 10.
Now the core four, all in double digits for the Huskies.
Lillard, Giles, that leads back to 20. And to the hoop is Giles, and a foul on her arm going to the hoop. The largest lead of the game for Andover tonight is 22. And right now it's a 20.
Well, we're several players got hot for the Rebels in that second half, but they were fighting back from a large 18-point deficit to start the second half.
Giles connects here, 12 points.
All of hers, I believe, in the second half.
You are correct, sir.
And, of course, who also caught fire was Holman.
Number 2 is good here as well, 13. Yeah, they both did, but Andover matched it. You know, they made a little run here, and Champlin Park tried to get it into single digits.
Get a look at
second half, but never got any closer than that.
You bet, and a good look tonight at the player of the game. And this for the Huskies, and that would be Miller. It was Miller time. That was her first bucket. Beautiful move off the glass. Tough defender, another one. And she played well. Those little bunnies underneath, she also squared up a couple of threes. Cash from beyond the perimeter.
Well, she scored in a variety of ways here tonight. Just look right there, on the break, shot it from outside, and also could take it. Here, look at post up, go to the hoop. She could beat the post player down low. She could take the entry pass. She can drop step to the hoop. She had the complete game tonight, really, when you look at Morgan Miller.
Yep, season high for her. A lot of people look at the shot and everything up top, but it's always that footwork is such a key. As you mentioned, drop step, Jim. Getting the pivot. A couple of times she took a step back, swung back, took a look at the defender rather than keeping her back to him, and tried to drive by. And she's versatile enough to do that.
Following the timeout, Huskies on the inbounds pass. 18-point lead. Valor, long football pass into the front court is going to be intercepted, stolen away. Holman. They tried the Hail Mary, the post pattern. Holman tries to split it, the double team to the hoop, and there is a foul in that. And Holman will have a chance to go to the line here and score with the clock stopped. 2 shots. Third personal foul on Ellie Fields.
Well, it's both teams, start to gear it up, and you look at the Class 4A seedings, too. They've got Maple Grove, both these teams. Champlin Park will have Andover again.
Holman makes 1 out of 2, 16. Yep, these teams will play again coming up on February 10th.
I'll tell you, those top 3 teams to be, count 4, Rosemount as well, just stellar teams. You got Hopkins, St. Michael, Overville, Chaska. So all teams, and then of course it's Maple Grove, number 9 currently. And,
well, it'll be a battle in the Northwest Suburban Conference, and then these teams in their respective sections. Heppel, there's that lob pass over the Champlin Park defense, allowing Ingleby to set up. 30 seconds remaining in this one. Andover will just work it around off of screens, up high, up by 17. Ingleby has it, backs it up. This is going to be an Andover Husky win. It'll be their 4th consecutive win against Champlin Park. They swept the season series last year, and they'll take game 1 of the season series here tonight.
Well, as I said, we needed to get at least the Huskies needed to get that core 4 going early, and they did. They got the lead, and they never relinquished the lead the whole game.
It's Ingleby to the line. It's 1-1. Connects on the front end. She's 3 for 3 from the line tonight. 12 points.
And
good. 13 for Ingleby. 4 Huskies in double digits. Lillard, final 10. Burchett, Lillard, 3. No, the horn, and it's an Andover Husky victory here on their home floor. They led from the start and managed the largest lead of the game of 22 earlier here this half. And Joe, they win it by 19. Your final thoughts on this one?
Well, you know what? The key components, the transition, some of those turnovers didn't hurt them, but those things need to be cleaned up for the Huskies, dominating because that core four got out there. They had a lot of good ball movement and, playing some great D, shut down any momentum early in the game here for the Rebels. Rebels tried to surge back, but by that time, you got a lot of energy spent. And when you try to come back from an 18-point deficit, it weighs heavy on the legs. And then they've put together, again, the core four, all in double figures.
Morgan Miller, 29. Emma Frost, 19 to lead Andover. Ava Holman with 16. And Ryan Giles and Ashley Burchett each with 13 to lead the way here for the Rebels. Champlin Park falling to 5-5, 5-3 in the conference. They'll be at Anoka on Thursday. Andover improving to 8-6, 5-3 in the conference. They're at Centennial coming up on Friday. And here's our broadcast schedule on QCTV the rest of the week and basically the rest of the month, Joe.
Yeah, look at that. Champlin Park is at Anoka. We'll cover that. Girls basketball on the 19th. And then Thursday, it's Grand Rapids versus Andover. That will be a thriller.
Big matchup, basically a rematch of the last couple of section championship games, certainly. And those are two of the contenders, along with resurgent Duluth East Greyhounds in Section 7AA as well. So that'll be a good test there for Andover to see where they stack up in Section 7AA.
Absolutely. And then girls hockey again following up with that as well. So good win for the Huskies, as you mentioned. They get their contributions, and meanwhile for the Rebels, make a run just a little too late.
All right, that does it for us here from Andover High School. For everybody in the truck, along with Joe Ruland, I'm Jim Erickson. Your final here tonight, girls basketball in the Northwest Suburban Conference. The Andover Huskies 79, Champlin Park 60. Good night, everybody. You've been watching high school girls basketball on QCTV Sports.